All right, The Flash delivered another episode called POW. No, I mean P.O.W. So who's the prisoner of war? Well, it looks like it's Barry Allen. But hey, what's the war? Well, the war is the Godspeed War. Yeah, see, the Godspeeds. Now, well, they're clones, and they're fighting each other. One side serves the original Godspeed, and the other side just want to be free, you know? John Diggle showed up, but he's having problems and headaches, and his eyes glow green, and so they're actually acknowledging the Green Lantern ring that he found. But apparently he's putting that off for the time being, and that's why it keeps attacking him. I guess. I don't know. He's mostly there just to have a heart-to-heart with Barry Allen. Yeah. So Barry has yet another vision of Nora, and he wakes up and then yells up to upstairs or whatever, says, "Hey Iris, I gotta go, there's Godspeeds everywhere." So he goes off and then comes back to Star Labs with some broken ribs and everything after fighting with the Godspeed guys. To tell you the truth, I don't know exactly what point of time the opening sequence took place, because it seems like when he shows up in Star Labs, he's in his suit and everything. That seems to have taken place from the last episode. Anyway, Caitlin decides to treat him for his injuries, and she realizes this isn't just about some broken bones, is it, Barry? No, it's not. Barry's worried about stuff, so he tells her about his vision of Nora. Yeah. So, feelings. Whoa. Feelings. Meanwhile, there's Joe and what's her name, Miss Kramer, looking for her old buddy who became evil, and they get stuck in the woods. And I don't know what the guy's power is. I guess his power is that he never dies. He seems to suggest that because he uses some space-age rifle, to hunt him down. Well, they trick him and catch him, and Joe puts the little power dampening thing on him, and he makes some remark about Kramer being already dead. Joe's like, "What's he talking about?" And she says, "I don't know." So I guess that means something. Maybe we'll probably find out that she's a meta too. And that's the sad thing, because she really hates metas. But mostly because of this guy. So he just sits there and laughs, and I don't know, to be continued on that one. Meanwhile, back in the Central City with the Godspeeds running everywhere, they find this seemingly homeless guy who has amnesia. Well, it turns out he's the original Godspeed, which I thought was someone else. But anyway, they treat his amnesia, but all it does is he remembers his name. And, yep, he's the guy. So there you go. They sort of end on that. Well, no, they don't end on that. Before we get to that, John Diggle shows up, and of course he has the exact same conversation pretty much that Barry had with Caitlin, and he tells him the most important thing in the world is being a dad. And of course he's not a dad yet, but he did meet his daughter from the future, who supposedly got erased from the timeline, but turns out she wasn't erased. She's perfectly fine. They just wrap that up because she shows up and she's not a vision or anything. She just tells him that everything's fine because, look, I'm here. And Barry's like, okay. Oh, wait, I jumped ahead. Oh, boy. See, how could I miss such significant things? So Iris does show up. So she's not phoning it. Well, she didn't phone it in last time either. I mean, she just wasn't there. And I thought, oh, did the actress test positive for COVID or something and had, couldn't do the show? So they just... Barry just talks to his phone and does the lines with her that way. But no, she does show up, and she's having some problems with the time force. So what's his name? Dion shows up and says, "I'm trying to keep her alive, Barry, but it's tough," and something. He's practically the god of time, but he doesn't have time to control time or something. And so that's how they're basically writing Iris out of the show for the time being. So I don't know. Maybe the actress just said, look, I can only take so much of this crap. I need a break. So she's, stuck in the time force or something. Oh, yeah, Barry was trying to get to the future to see what the hell's going on and see what happened to Nora, because he just now suddenly realized, hey, I never did follow up on that. So, and of course the Godspeeds come from the future, so he's trying to solve the mystery and all that, but he couldn't get through because the Godspeeds stopped him. So anyway, apparently they found the original. His name's August Hart, so he's supposed to be the original Godspeed. He didn't seem all that impressive to me, but, then again, he's, lost his memory and stuff. So anyway, they'll have to deal with that. Oh, jeez, I forgot. Allegra and her cousin, she wants to go get revenge on Black Hole. They don't bother to show any of it. They just show you the aftermath where a bunch of dead soldiers on the floor. And Esperanza dies, and because I don't know, she got shot or something, and then she just turns to ash, like remember the aliens from the Invaders? Well, that's what she does. And then Allegra's like, no, there you go. And so all that, was for nothing, but it doesn't matter. It's not very well done characters anyway. Barry gets mad at Chester and later apologizes to him, and that was out of line, Barry. It was. So okay, the ending is Nora shows up and tells Barry, hey, I'm great and stuff, and then someone else shows up. Yes, it's Barry's son. Now he has a son, Bart, who is in his impulse suit. And he's like, woo, look at me. Wow, yeah. And Barry's like, huh? And so there you go. That's the show. Yeah. It had some elements to it that could have been interesting, but they don't know what to do, and they have to clutter it up with, repetitive emotional conversations, which... No, those are going to happen, but it's the same ones over and over and over again. Twice in one show in this case, yeah. As for John Diggle, after he kind of helps out here and there in between having headaches or whatever, he says, I got to deal with this. And so he walks off. Are they going to let him be Green Lantern? I doubt it. Had he been Green Lantern in this show, that would have been cool. There was certain ways they could have, they were coming up with... ways to trap one of the Godspeeds, but it turns out the Godspeed was manipulating them. But anyway, they could have used Green Lantern in there. But see, the thing about Green Lantern, he's so powerful, he pretty much would solve the whole problem within a few minutes. so they'd have to come up with some means by which his powers being countered, which... I don't know, just say it's a bunch of Godspeeds and they're screwing with stuff, and so his ring doesn't work quite right or something like that. Could have, but they didn't. So, I don't know if they're ever going to let that guy be Green Lantern. Oh well. So there you go. Prisoner of war, but more like prisoner of the show. Oh well, you don't want to do those letters. All right, so... There, I watched another episode of The Flash, more or less. Once again, I went off to do some laundry in the middle of it. But, so, I watched it, so you didn't have to. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies. with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.